I don't know about you, Chibi, but your hair is horrendous. Bruh. That's like hitting me below the belt. Like, bro. But you know what? Even though this isn't theoretically a question, more like a statement than anything else, I will say that I do respect the fact that you were willing to just be so openly against my gorgeous hair. But, jokes aside, you know what, you're gonna be jealous one day when I decide to, one day get some style with my hair, dye it, whatever. You're gonna see a video of a whole new Chibi with a glow up. You guys are gonna be absolutely jealous. But, what a way to start this video. What is up, everybody? Hopefully all of you are having a fantastic day or night wherever you live, because today I'm here to do the ChibitQuestions, the Q&A, to answer a bunch of questions that all of you have been asking me and kind of dive right into just what you guys are very curious about. I love these type of videos, as I've said already many times in the past few videos I made, and it allows me to interact with you guys, communicate with you guys, get to see what you feel and think, etc. It's fun. It's just really fun to be able to just talk with you guys, the community. I feel like a bond forms every time I do these videos. So, with that out of the way, let's just dive headfirst into the first question. Does hiatuses impact your enjoyment of a series, short or long term? Do you ever find yourself not liking a series as much as you used to before, after a long break? That one's a very good question, actually, because I actually have experienced something like that, and I think a really good example of this is Hunter x Hunter, since Togashi-sensei has recently announced in the past month that he will be returning and will be writing more chapters of the manga. We've been seeing continuous, little tidbits of, manga chapter pages that he's been writing. Obviously, the flames are rekindling, and people are excited for Hunter x Hunter to return to see where the journey takes us. But before Togashi made himself a Twitter account, before he started posting updates, etc., and I think many others were on that type of impression, like, Hunter x Hunter's probably not going to come back. That was our feelings. That was our thoughts. That's what many of us were probably thinking. I myself even said, when I made the video the day that we found out Togashi was coming back, I was at that point where I was just like, I just don't think the series is going to come back. And it made me very sad for a few reasons, because obviously I love Hunter x Hunter. It's easily one of the best, and I say this to this very day, and I am not trying to, overblow this or overrate it, but seriously, Hunter x Hunter is easily one of the best series I have ever had to experience my entire life. And so, when Togashi-sensei goes on these hiatuses, it hurts because he obviously, he writes really good stuff. There's some quality in his writing, and I mean, once again, the general reaction to people, to him making, a Twitter account, how many followers he has, how many likes he gets, etc., is just, it's a demonstration of how many people love the series. And I feel like, one of the big things about Hunter x Hunter is that people are worried about him going back on break. That is something that's probably in everybody's mind once it comes back. They're like, how long is it going to be until he goes on break? And it hurts because you don't want to get too attached to the story. You don't want to dive too deep into it, because soon as you do, he's probably going to go on break. And obviously, I know there's a lot of memes and stuff that he plays games and all that, but I truly believe it's health issues. I really believe that it's health concerns of why he takes breaks. His back and all that. I mean, he is getting up there in age. So, does, in long-term or short-term, does hiatuses make me lose connection with the story? In some ways, yes. I feel like I would have a lot more passion, a lot more love for Hunter x Hunter than I already do if it was continuously coming out. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword. I think because of how sporadic the releases of Hunter x Hunter are, it has allowed people to build up this cult following towards Hunter x Hunter, and when it does come back, the community just explodes in terms of conversation and discussion, because it's rare that we get some new content to talk about. So, it's a double-edged sword. I'm mixed on that, but I do think short-term, yes, it has affected my love for series like hiatuses have. With October being so stacked with great anime, has there ever been another season where you were more excited? Yeah, I would say a season that was more excited was back when ReZero started to air. Now, obviously, it's just one series, but my love for ReZero has stand the test of time to this very day. I think anyone that knows me and has watched my content and watched my reviews, watched my discussions, my reactions, whatever, I think all of you know how much I love ReZero. It's one of my favorite series of all time, and I talk about it continuously to this day. even though season 1 came out years ago, like 7-8 years ago. It's been a long time, basically. And so because of that, it's like, I had so much love for that anime season, at least mainly ReZero, and I haven't really had that much attachment to an anime season to that extent since then, but this upcoming October has that potential to surpass that because of everything coming out. But that is one anime season that still to this day I think is one of my favorites I have ever got to experience while making content on this channel. Hey Chibi, have you noticed how strong the accent everyone has in summertime rendering, especially Shinpei and Ushio? I've never seen anyone talk about it. The thick accent cracks me up every time. So yes, I have definitely noticed the accent, like, you know, how Ushio's like, yeah, you know, and all that, like the way she adds on those little accent touches and stuff. It's kind of like I say y'all and all that, or yeah, or yeah, and all that sometimes. It's like, I catch the accents, and I do think it's really cool. It adds a lot more character to summertime rendering, and I guess it makes sense because of where they're stationed. They're on this remote island, and obviously there will be accents that form because of it. So, I do think that the accents are funny, but honestly, I think it adds a very more personal and realistic tone to the story, and I think that's why more people fall in love with it if they really get into the story and the characters because of how they speak. I really enjoyed your video series when you were building your house with your dad. I hope in the future you do more stuff like that. I love that not only you are a manga/anime nerd, but you can build a whole house by hand. So interesting. What other talents do you have? Well, I wouldn't necessarily say talents, and I do appreciate the fact that you enjoyed that type of content, because obviously this channel is mostly anime manga, you know, orientated, so when I veer off and do something rather different, it's bound to affect people wanting to be interested in my content. It's a thing. It happens. And I do respect the fact that there's a lot of you out there that really do just enjoy my content because it's me making the content, and I'm very thankful for that. I really am. What other talents do I have, though? I mean, I guess if there is a few talents that I definitely have, I mean, if we're not talking about, let's say, gaming, I mean, I really love to hike. I love going on hikes and, like, climbing, like, rock climbing, or, like, I'm not, like, an experienced rock climber or anything, but I like, climbing, like, hilltops and stuff, like, in caves. Like, I went caving when I was younger, and I haven't done it in a long time, but I really loved going into caves and exploring. It was very fun. Like, there's a lot of caves here where I live in Tennessee, and I've went into quite a few of them. I've explored them when I was like 12 or 13. It's really an experience being in a cave like a mile deep inside the ground, because it's like, there's no light, obviously, and all you could hear maybe is some echoes of your footsteps, or you talking, or you breathing, and then you might hear some, you know, little dripping of water in the distance. Being in a cave is very tranquil, and I feel like very peaceful, in a way. I guess that's one talent I have. I wouldn't necessarily call it a talent, I guess, but that's one. And then, if we're talking about other actual talents, I guess reading. Like, as I've gotten a lot older, and I've grown up reading a lot of stuff, like, you know, reading subtitles for anime, reading manga, reading novels, and just books in general, not even light novels, just books in general, I have become quite a quick reader. Like, I can just knock out a book like that thick, in probably a day, maybe a day and a half. It's really not that difficult. I don't know. I just really get engrossed in a book, and I go at it. And just there. I'll spend an entire day reading a book. It's fun. I don't know. I guess that's one talent I have. First of all, I really enjoy your videos, man, so keep up the work. My question is, would you be open to have the idea of reading fan works / submissions for a manga competition or some similar event? Totally not because I want to get opinions on my own manga in progress. Ah, I see you. You're trying to see if I could talk about the stuff you're making. But jokes aside, though, you know, that would be fun. Like, legitimately, I think that would be a very fun idea. If there was, like, enough fan works and submissions sent in, maybe if I make a post and, like, a bunch of you sent them in, it would be probably a good idea to make a video dedicated to that. You know, just talking about fan works and submissions, giving my overall general gist or opinion of it, and obviously I will be honest. I'm gonna be honest. But I think, though, that could be a very fun video idea to just dive into some stuff like that and see what you guys, you know, cook up, you know, when you're writing or whatever, or your art, etc. That could be a lot of fun. You know, I'm open to the idea. You know, there's a lot of you guys in the comments that mentioned that you would be interested in this and you're willing to send in work. I definitely definitely do that. I definitely would. First of all, thank you for doing my question in the last video, Chibi. That made my night, which is when I usually watch a lot of your videos. As for my question, with One Piece entering its final arc, which is weird to think about, what do you think the future of Shonen Jump will look like? I hope you're having a terrific day, and God bless you. Oh, bless you too, and thank you so much. What do I think Shonen Jump will look like once One Piece comes to an end? Truthfully, my honest thoughts, it's gonna struggle. I really think Shonen Jump will struggle quite a bit, because the problem is One Piece has been in the magazine for so long, for decades, and obviously there's a lot of people, even in Japan, that just pick up the Shonen Jump magazine, not for anything in the magazine, but just for One Piece. And I feel like once One Piece enters its final chapter, and the book closes on it, people are probably just going to be done with Shonen Jump. They'll be like, okay, they'll move on. They'll do something else. Because maybe a lot of people that are reading One Piece they're mostly probably adults now. They're old people. And so they probably are reading stuff that's more for a mature audience. And maybe they're not looking for anything that's maybe in weekly Shonen Jump. So I feel like there's going to be a radical shift in just the way Shonen Jump operates once One Piece comes to an end. I could be wrong about that, but that's my 2 cents. Hi, Chibi. Would like to hear your thoughts about this. Do you think due to Togashi's return, we'll be having a continuation to the anime anytime in the near future? I don't know. I mean, I would love to, obviously. I would love to have a continuation. I think many of us that are Hunter x Hunter fans would love to see another great anime adaptation of Hunter x Hunter like Hunter x Hunter 2011 was. But do I think we'll have one anytime in the future? No, because, like, even if, like, hypothetically, there was to be an anime in production this moment, okay, let's just say today or tomorrow or next week, it's announced that Hunter x Hunter is getting an anime. In terms of the content we have for the manga that can get an anime adaptation, there might be about 12, maybe 17 episodes worth of content. And yes, that's probably a lot of content in a lot of people's eyes, but it's not enough to leave people satisfied. Because here's the thing, the Hunter x Hunter anime, the new one, 2011 that came out, it is a very good completed story. Like, if you don't know anything about the manga, and you stopped with the anime, it's completed, because it ends Gon's story. It ends Gon's story in such a way where you can be satisfied. And anything after that is basically an entirely new, different story. And I feel like if you were to make an anime of that, and then just end it, like, when it's just ramping up, it would be very upsetting. People would be very upset, and I think it would make people very angry, and there would be even more pressure on Togashi to continue writing chapters, which I don't think that's really what he needs. So, all I'm saying is that, do I think we're going to get one anytime soon? No. I say once the current arc we're on probably comes to a close, that's when I think we could potentially get an anime. But for now, no. I don't think anytime soon. Alright, Chibi, a very important question. Would you consider doing a panel down under at a con? I think you mean Australia? Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm always open to going to a con or doing a panel. I'd probably be very socially awkward because, look, I'm very socially awkward in person. I really, really am. And I know it seems like that's crazy, especially for someone like me that's constantly putting out content every single day, chatting online, etc. But legitimately, in real life, I am very skittish or shy, and so I don't know how I'd be at a con, but I always have wanted to go to a con, because I've never been to one, and I've talked about this many times, and if I ever got invited to go to a con, or if I ever got invited for a panel, I would definitely go, 100%, I would go. I would love to be able to see different places and all that, and one day I do want to be a part of something like that. Hi Chibi, first of all, thanks for answering my questions. Have you ever thought about making a Discord, or maybe even a podcast? I have thought about both, actually. Like, obviously, I thought about a Discord, because I think it'd be very easy to interact with all of you guys. I just don't know how many of you guys would be interested in a personal Discord. And as for a podcast, yes, podcasts are very difficult, though, because obviously, you gotta have a lot to talk about. And I don't know how I would structure it. That's always been up in the air of how I would structure a podcast. But that is also something I have considered in the past. What other young and original artists like Tatsuki Fujimoto are you excited about? Oh, this is a good one, actually. I just made a video a few days ago, if you didn't see, about Ruri Dragon, a new manga weekly Shonen Jump. And the author of that series that's writing it is brand new. Like, they are a completely new and upcoming author that has not written any work that's ever been serialized in a magazine besides a one-shot. So, if you are wanting to look into, like, some artists or, you know, an author that's new to writing manga, I recommend you check out Ruri Dragon that is currently coming out, because Clearly, there is a lot of potential there, and I hope that the series does very well. Always wondered what your favorite smartphone brand is, and which one are you currently using, just really curious. So, my current smartphone brand is the Android right here, and my favorite, I don't really have a favorite, but I want to be honest with you. I'm probably going to get some comments in the below because of what I'm about to say. I think iPhones are overpriced. I think they're just overpriced, and they're not for me. I don't know. Yeah, they're not for me. I just feel like how much they cost for the little feature updates they have, it's not worth all that money that they force you to pay. So I guess I go with an Android phone. If you were suddenly in the world of ReZero, which of the 5 royal selection candidates would you support? Oh, that's easy. Priscilla, for obvious reasons. Hello, Chibi. I was wondering what was the worst anime show you've ever watched. Ooh, I've watched a lot of bad things, but if I had to say if there's one series I've ever, talked about on this channel, reviewed, etc., that really just felt like I wasted my time, was Glasslip. If you know anything about Glasslip that aired years ago, you'll know what I mean. And if you haven't watched it, well, don't watch it. It looks good on the surface, but when you watch it, it's literally nothing. Literally, the anime is nothing. It's legitimately nothing. Nothing happens. That's exactly what it is. It's a waste of 10 to 12 episodes. So I do not recommend that series. I just want to say thank you for recommending me the webtoon Hero Killer, and I hope it will get an anime adaptation someday. Are you going to do what to watch for Anime Summer 2022? So first off, I'm happy to hear that my recommendation for Hero Killer was good, and you enjoyed the series, and I too actually hope it gets an anime adaptation one day. But if there's any webtoon that actually deserves one over that, it would be probably Hardcore Leveling Warrior or Unordinary in my personal opinion. Now, to answer your question, will I be doing a video for what I will watch? Obviously, I will, so do not worry about that because I'm excited for quite a few things that's coming out next anime season. What type of music do you like, Chibi? I like all sorts of Japanese music, whether it's anime songs, heavy metal, new metal, punk, rap, and pop. Well, I like assortment of different music, obviously, besides Japanese music. I mean, I like Korean music, obviously. I like classic music, theatrical. I do like metal, some heavy metal. I like, pop music. I do like some punk music, electronic music, game music. That's pretty much my main category, I would say, that I normally listen to. Alright, Chibi, what's your top 5 favorite video games? And what's your favorite Pokemon? Okay, so top 5 favorite video games. Now, in any order, obviously, because it can vary depending on my mood and time of day. Dark Souls 3, Halo 3, Diablo 2, the original Diablo 2, Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne, and then, I'm trying to think here, another game. Record of Agrest War. I would say those are my top 5 favorite games. And as for my favorite Pokemon, Mawile. I've always been a big fan of Mawile. Mawile, to this very day, is still one of my favorite Pokemon. What are your thoughts about the 100-Year Quest Fairy Tail spinoff, getting an anime adaptation, and how do you feel about the possibility of Fairy Tail Next Gen, since Hiro Mashima said if people want it, he would do it? One last thing, what do I have to do to bribe you with to get you to read some series I recommend in a video on them? Okay, so, just recommend me a series. If it's something I'm interested in, I'll watch it and read it and potentially do a video on it, but it has to be something I'm interested in. Now, as for Fairy Tail, how do I feel about Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest getting an anime adaptation? I'm happy. I'm happy for Hiro Mashima. I've talked about this already in length in some recent videos I've done on Eden Zero and Fairy Tail, and yes, I still dislike Fairy Tail. My opinion is not going to change on Fairy Tail, but I will say that I do respect the hustle and the grind from Hiro Mashima. When I was younger, I didn't realize it, but now thinking back, Hiro Mashima is a very successful mangaka. He deserves all the success, and I'm happy to see that he is getting an anime adaptation for Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest. I haven't touched the series, obviously, because Fairy Tail, but I have heard that it's actually a really good read. Now, if we're talking about Eden Zero, I love Eden Zero. Absolutely fantastic manga. If you still have yet to read it, I really do recommend it. One of your top 5 series that have irregular publishing schedules, and are you willing to add Black Lagoon to that read list? Ooh, this is a good question, Brandon. I like that. Okay, so yes, Black Lagoon, I definitely would add to that. I love Black Lagoon. Like, man, I've been waiting for, like, a continuation anime for years since I watched the original anime, and I want one. I really want a continuation of Black Lagoon, because it's a fantastic, fantastic story. But, I guess, since I'm adding Black Lagoon to the list, let's add 4 others. So, obviously, easy, it's kind of cheap to say, but Berserk, but it's coming back. I mean, Hunter x Hunter as well, so there's 3. D. Gray Man, love D. Gray Man, underrated series in my personal opinion. I don't think enough people really talk about that. And then, other stories that come to mind. I guess Vagabond? I would say Vagabond comes to mind in terms of your regular publishing schedule. So, those would be my 5. Hey, Chibi, here's my question for you. Who let the dogs out? Woof! Woof, woof! Makima, probably. What safe site would you recommend to buy manga from? Oh, that's an easy one. So if you're looking to buy some manga, either get it from Amazon, which usually they're sold out recently because of a paper shortage. If not Amazon, Viz Media. I'd recommend, I'm trying to think here. Bookwalker. There's a few sites you can look into to actually, like, buy from, but those are my general go-to sites unless I'm going in person to a bookstore. Let's settle this once and for all. Who's best girl, Emilia or Rem? Oh, that's obvious, Emilia. For good reason. If you are up to date with the web novel or novels, Emilia's just so much better than Rem. There's no contest. There really isn't. Would you like it if Attack on Titan had an anime original ending, or do you want them to animate the manga ending? That's a difficult question. Personally, I'm still not a big fan of the manga ending. I don't care what people think. I don't like the ending of Attack on Titan. It's bad. I'm not going to dive too deep into it. I'm not going to get into a major discussion on it. All I'm saying is I don't like the manga ending. And if the anime was to do something different, the only way I would accept that it's something different, however, is if the actual writer, Isayama, was fine with it. If he personally wrote it and was fine with it. That's the only way I would accept an anime original ending, even if I don't like the manga ending. Top 5 best girls in your humble opinion. Longtime watcher, great content, Chibi. Aw, thank you very much, Void. I do appreciate that. So, top 5 best girls. Now, this is on the top of my head, so any order, obviously, but Holo from Spice and Wolf, Emilia from ReZero, Casca from Berserk, I'm trying to think here, Bulma from Dragon Ball Z. Love Bulma. She's just a great character. And then, I'm trying to think here, another series. Toka from, Tokyo Ghoul, I would say. Those are my top 5. Will this become a weekly format? Obviously. I've been doing it. Yo, if you were to be reincarnated into a series, any series you've watched or read, and you're not the main character, which would it be? You're just yourself, not an established character. You gotta make that name for yourself. Lol. Well, what a interesting question. So, if I could be reincarnated in any story, okay? I'm assuming it's not just like an isekai, just any story, and I'm not the main character. I gotta make a name for myself. Ooh, what series would it be? Okay, so obviously I'm not gonna do ReZero. I'd just be a background character that would literally lead to nowhere, so I'm not doing ReZero for obvious reasons. Berserk? No, definitely not. Dragon Ball could be fun, theoretically, because if you're a common pedestrian and you have the knowledge of the Dragon Ball Z universe, okay, and you know everything of how it works, etc., you probably could get very strong in the Dragon Ball world. Like, really think about that. Because that would be really, really fun. You could probably become very strong. Now, as for other ones, I'm trying to think here. Fairy Tail would be fun, because you would just be able to have magic and chill and relax. It'd be a very fun world to be in. But you know what? I'm going to go with Dragon Ball. I think I'm going to take an easy one, Dragon Ball. The reason why, because if I can be in any series, like Dragon Ball, Krillin and, like, Tien and all of them, they're incredibly strong. They are very strong. But they don't know all the secrets and the little things that they probably could do to get a lot stronger. And I feel like if I was put into that world, and I know the things I know about the world, I definitely could become very strong. I might be the next Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan or something. That would be fun. That would be very fun. So yeah, I'll go with Dragon Ball. What's your top 5 favorite movies? Would you consider to go to a convention in the near future? Can you try to eat a habanero on camera just like you did with Sir Stroming? And number 4, hope you have a good day. Hugs. All hugs to you as well. So my top 5 favorite movies. I'm going to cheat on this one. Lord of the Rings 1, Lord of the Rings 2, Lord of the Rings 3, the extended editions obviously, and then The Dark Knight, and then The Joker. Those are my top 5 favorite movies. As for going to a convention, I've already answered this many times in the past, but yes, I definitely would. Would I eat a habanero on camera? I mean, I think I made a video like that before, but I definitely would do it again if you guys are interested. I love spicy foods. And, yeah, if Mura's friend will only work on what he remembers, what do you think they will do to fill in gaps? Do you think Berserk will become spotchy/readable slideshow? No, I feel like there's going to be a lot of liberty taken with the story for obvious reasons, but I do think that Berserk is going to probably take a shift in terms of tone, because it's never going to be the exact same that Mura envisioned. There's never going to be. And I feel like that's what a lot of people need to accept when the chapters do start to roll out. It's been, what, 6 to 7 years since the end of Alden Noah Zero. I know you reviewed the series when it was coming out, but I was wondering what your opinion is on it in 2022, and do you think it should have had a 3rd season or not? Has it really been 6 to 7 years? Holy crap. Yeah, Alden Noah Zero. I still listen to the soundtrack every so often to this very day, because I love the soundtrack. Sawano just makes bombing soundtrack, so you can't really beat that. But, do I think it should have got a 3rd season? No, because the 2nd season was a mistake. It was really bad. I did not like the 2nd season. You can go back to my reviews to see why. I think the 2nd season was just poorly done, and it ruined the great setup that season 1 had. So yeah, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's not continuing to try to ruin it even more than it already did. What are your thoughts on Date Alive? Well, I'm behind. I finished season 2, and I'm behind 2 seasons, so don't really have much thoughts. It's just a harem romance series with a lot of fan service. If you're into that, you're into that. It's just not something that I'm actively super, super interested in. Which is more powerful, the power of friendship or the power of transformations? Well, power of friendship, because, look, power of friendship leads to the power of transformation. Look at Dragon Ball Z. Krillin blows up, and then all of a sudden you have Goku transforming into a Super Saiyan. So, power of friendship, easy. I have 2 questions for you. Have you ever thought about Zatch Bell? It's one of my favorite anime that I grew up with that no one, sadly, has talked about that much. Who is your favorite ReZero character? So, Zatch Bell. Love that show. Absolutely love that show. I believe there's a remake coming out for Zatch Bell, actually. I believe that was announced recently. I could be wrong, but I believe there is. And Zatch Bell is such a good anime. Such a good manga. I love it so much. It's super, super good. Super underrated. I love the power system. I love just everything about it. It was great. It was a fun series. And so I really think that it is one of my favorites, too, at least in terms of shonen. Now, my favorite ReZero character, if I'm not going to obviously say Subaru, because I think that's cheating, I would probably say, favorite, I'm not going to say Emilia either, because I think that's cheating, and so is Rem. So, I'm going to go with Rem. I think Rem is probably my favorite character. Can you list your favorite Straw Hats from favorite to least favorite? Please include the newest additions to the crew, as well as might have to warn anime onlys for spoilers. I'll do mine. Luffy, Sanji, Usopp, Robin, Nami, Zoro, Brook, Jinbei, Frankie, Yamato, Chopper. So I'm assuming top is your favorite, to bottom is least favorite. So I'll do the same. So Luffy is number 1, obviously. Second favorite, Nami. Third favorite, Sanji. 4th favorite, Usopp. 5th favorite, Robin. 6th favorite, Frankie. 7th favorite, Jinbei. 8th favorite, Brook. I would say 9th favorite is Chopper. 10th favorite is Zoro. And 11th favorite is obviously, Yamato. Those are my top, and if you're wondering why Zoro is so low, for obvious reasons, is because Zoro hasn't gotten a lot of character development. I'm not counting him getting new swords, or having a cool fight, or whatever, learning a new technique. That's not character development. He hasn't had an actual arc really focused on him, like Sanji and the other characters, ever. And I thought Wano would be his arc, but clearly it wasn't. So the point is, I think, Zoro is easily one of the weakest in terms of just character development throughout the entire story of One Piece. Hey man, love your content. So I got 2 questions for you. Who is your favorite Hunter x Hunter character and why? And do you watch any other shows that are not anime related? If so, which ones are your favorite? Oh, this is easy. So Marilyn from Hunter x Hunter is my favorite because he went from a cold-blooded, merciless killer slash antagonist at the beginning of the Chimera Ant arc to a benevolent king that would bow before someone that was of lesser status than him. Very easy question. And as for things I watch that's not anime related, I don't watch a lot, but I would say Better Call Saul is the recent one I've been watching and really been enjoying. What has been one of the lowest points in your life, and what has been one of the highest points in your life? Well, one of the lowest points is probably when my mother and father divorced, and then things kind of spiraled down from there. I would say that's one of the lowest points in my life. But one of the highest is very easy to, answer, and that is the fact me being able to make this content, talk with all of you guys. You guys out there, like the highlight of my life. Every single day when I get to talk with you guys, make content, etc., that is my highest point in life. So you guys are always what brightens my day and makes me happy. How do you deal with burnout from watching anime? I get this question so much. I've been getting it every single week, and I believe I already answered it once, but I continuously keep getting it, and I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that, but I guess I'll answer this question again. How do I personally deal with burnout? Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm still dealing with burnout, because, if you wonder why I don't review, 20 to 30 different anime nowadays, like I used to in the past, it's because of burnout. I used to, in the past, I would watch anything, everything that came out, just because I wanted to talk about everything, and I had a lot of fun. But the problem is that there was a lot of those shows that just started to feel very samey, the exact same thing, and I started seeing repetition, and I just didn't really enjoy all those stories, and I felt like it was just I was forcing myself to watch a lot. And so I backed away and I started to only talk about and watch things that genuinely interest me. Nothing that I'm forcing myself to read or watch. If I feel that way, I stop it. I stop reading, I stop watching if I feel like I'm forcing myself. So that's how I deal with burnout to this day. I only talk about things or watch things that I'm just interested in, and I will never force myself to watch something if I'm just not feeling it. That's just how I am. Are you playing or looking forward to any video games, and are you planning to stream more? Well, I'm actually currently playing Disgaea 1. I recently got the entire series on a easy deal on Steam, so I've been playing through the first game about 2 hours into it. I'm not really that far, but it's really fun so far. And if we're talking about other games, Total War Warhammer, because big Warhammer fan and love Total War, so yeah. And do I plan to stream more? I'm not going to make any promises, but I would love to stream more. Where's the green screen, Chibi? It's right there, in the background. I know you said you don't play mobile games, but what if the game had good story, good art, and hit all the notes you like in a story? If so, I once asked you if you consider looking into Arc Knights. They have some animated trailers from their events, character theme, and upcoming anime. Well, I have heard so much about Arc Knight. I have gotten so many ads of Arc Knight while just watching YouTube videos, so I do know what Arc Knight is. I have been interested in playing it, but I'm just, like I said, I'm not into gacha games. I'm not a big fan of them. I don't want to just deal with those predatory practices, and just looking at Diablo Immortal itself that's recently came out is enough to really just show the reasons why I don't like gacha games. So it's just yeah. Now I'm not saying Arc Knight is probably as bad or whatever. I'm not one to play mobile games because they're usually just microtransaction heavy, and I just don't want to dive into that rabbit hole. And so, that is the last question, everybody. There is a lot of other questions you guys have sent in, and do not worry. If I did not answer your question and you posted or whatever, there's always a next time, because I will be doing more of these videos, so do not worry. But just thank you so much for everyone that sent in questions. I always appreciate it. It allows me, like I've said at the beginning of this video, to grow a bond with you guys, to be able to see what you guys are feeling and thinking. I always appreciate that, and thank you so much for everyone that watched this video up to this very point. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here, and I just want to spread that positivity to all of you. But you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.